Welcome. Imagine a world after the end, not tomorrow, right now. In this ranking, I reveal the most gripping post-apocalyptic movies and series available on streaming platforms in 2025. These are not 2025 premieres, but unforgettable stories from 2024 still shaking the screen with atmosphere, vision, and emotion. From mutated wastelands to virus-devastated cities, these are must-watch titles. Fallout. Imagine a world where the bombs have already fallen and everything we knew has been destroyed. Fallout is a brutal, dark, yet blackly humorous story set in a ruined post-nuclear world where survival is the ultimate game. The series follows Lucy, a woman raised in a luxurious underground vault who ventures to the surface for the first time to search for her father. What she finds exceeds her worst fears, a world full of mutants, raiders, and ruthless factions fighting over the remains of civilization. In the middle of this chaos, she encounters a mysterious ghoul and a young brotherhood of steel soldier. Their paths intertwine in unpredictable ways, revealing the dark truths of the past. Fallout is not just a survival story, but also a haunting reflection on how war reshapes humanity and how little it takes for a person to become a monster. Available on Amazon Prime Video, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The apes didn't just survive, they inherited the Earth. In Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, humanity has faded into legend while intelligent apes rule the world, divided into clans and guided by the myths of Caesar. Among them is Noah, a young chimpanzee who has never left his peaceful home. When a ruthless warlord attacks his village and takes his family, Noah begins a dangerous journey into the unknown. Alongside him are Rock, a wise orangutan who follows Caesar's teachings, and May, a mysterious human girl holding secrets of the old world. Together, they must challenge tyranny and uncover a buried truth. This is a story of ideals twisted by power and a battle over who gets to shape the future, apes or humans. Available on Hulu. Badland Hunters. After a massive earthquake reduces Seoul to ruins, humanity barely survives on the scorched remains of the city. Badland Hunters throws us into a brutal world where survival is dictated by strength, instinct, and firepower. Nam-san, a hardened hunter, follows his own rules until a young girl from his settlement is kidnapped by a deranged doctor conducting horrific human experiments in a quest for immortality. Teaming up with his partner and a fearless sergeant, Nam-san ventures into a city crawling with mutants, death, and madness. This is a savage, blood-soaked tale of sacrifice, resilience, and how far one will go when the world no longer remembers what it used to be. Available on Netflix. Arkadian. Imagine a world after a catastrophe, empty, dead, without a trace of civilization. It is in such a world that a single father lives with his two sons. The days are relatively calm, but at night the real nightmare begins. That's when creatures come to the surface to hunt people. In the 2024 film Arkadian, Nicolas Cage plays a father who will do anything to protect his boys. But when one of his sons doesn't return home before nightfall, a tense struggle for survival begins. This is not another horror movie with monsters. Arkadian focuses on emotions, fear, love, sacrifice. The quiet, sultry atmosphere of the world after the end makes every scene gripping. This is a story about a family that, despite the fall of the world, still does not give up. Because even in the darkness, something human can survive. Available to stream in 2025 on Hulu. Year 10. There are no words here, only breath, death, and instinct. Year 10 unfolds 10 years after civilization's collapse. A world of cannibalism, frost, and silence. Jake, a young man, hides in the woods with his father and ill girlfriend. When raiders murder his father and steal their last dose of medicine, Jake is forced to embark on a merciless journey to reclaim what he loves. Wildlife, hunger, and monstrous humans stand in his way. Told without a single line of dialogue, Year 10 is a powerful, wordless scream about pain, sacrifice, and the ghost of what it means to be human. Available on Hoople. Earth abides. What if you returned home to find the world gone? No people, no voices, just silence. Earth Abides follows Isha, a man who survives a strange epidemic while on a mountain expedition, only to come back and realize that civilization has vanished. Alone and bewildered, he sets off on a journey across a deserted America, eventually meeting other survivors and attempting to rebuild something, anything that resembles a future. But the deeper question arises. Should we try to restore the old world or let a new one rise from the ashes? This is a haunting, thoughtful film about collapse, resilience, and what truly remains when everything else disappears. Available on Amazon Prime Video. Elevation. If you think Earth is safe, think again. In Elevation, deadly creatures emerge from beneath the ground, wiping out nearly all of humanity. There's one rule: these monsters can't climb higher than 8,000 feet, so survivors live in the mountains, and descending means certain death. Will, a desperate father, must go below to get medicine for his sick son. Accompanied by scientist Nina and a loyal friend, he journeys through lifeless terrain, evading beasts that detect even the slightest breath. Elevation is a suspenseful, emotional thriller about courage, sacrifice, and how far a parent will go to save what matters most. Available on HBO Max. Apocalypse Z, the beginning of the end. It started like any normal day, until the world collapsed. In Apocalypse Z, the beginning of the end, a rabies-like virus spreads rapidly, turning people into savage, mindless killers. Manel, a solitary man in Barcelona, isolates himself with his cat Luculo in a small apartment. But when supplies run out, he's forced to brave the infected city. Along the way, he meets other survivors, some helpful, others more dangerous than the infected. This is a gripping story of loneliness, survival, and unexpected connection in a world where every step could be fatal. And it all began on a day that was never ordinary again. Available on Prime Video. Parvulos. No parents, no future, only survival. Parvulos. Children of the Apocalypse tells the chilling story of three brothers, Salvador, Oliver, and Benjamin, living alone in a secluded house after the end of the world. Each day is a fight for survival. But the real horror lies not in the outside world, but in their own basement. They're hiding something that's slowly consuming them. This is not just a story about the apocalypse. It's a psychological drama about growing up too soon, the weight of responsibility, and the terror that lives behind closed doors. Available on Apple TV. Homestead. When the world ends, home becomes a war zone. Homestead follows a family trying to survive in a remote settlement after the fall of civilization. Life is already tense, but when a wounded stranger appears at their door, everything spirals into fear, doubt, and moral chaos. Can they risk helping someone new, or will survival demand brutal choices? Homestead is an intense, tightly wound thriller where trust is rare and survival comes at a steep price. Available on Apple TV. If you made it to the end, respect. The apocalypse may come in many forms, but great cinema always survives. Let us know in the comments which title hit you the hardest, or suggest one we should add next time. See you in the next ranking.